This is one of a series of AVIs meant to demonstrate a person can learn about the martial arts from everywhere, not only in martial arts class. I was talking with some people who do not believe this. They think that martial arts are the physical practice only, that information or hints about the martial arts cannot be found anywhere except in class. I told them they could learn about martial arts from any daily activity or from any person. I decided to pose a puzzle for them to prove this idea. I told them that the Yin Yang symbol provides insight into the human body. I told them they could figure this out by sitting around and thinking about it. No physical exercise. I provided 2 clues that could help them decipher this particular secret about the Yin Yang sign. Specifically, I told them that if they had ever baked cookies, that would provide an insight into this Yin Yang secret. The second clue was auto mechanics. I told them that if they had ever removed the steering wheel on a car, the tools and or the process involved in removing the steering wheel would provide additional insight into this secret of the Yin Yang sign. No one could solve the puzzle. I must admit that the clues are very obscure. I resolved to make this AVI to visually demonstrate what I was talking about. Have you ever made cookies? You can make them in any shape you like. You can buy forms at the store to make particular shapes like Christmas trees, or Santas, or reindeer. You can take the form and press it into the cookie dough. The dough is trapped within the form in whatever shape the form has. Then the cookie is placed on the cookie sheet. The forms can be any shape. Why not make a form out of a Yin Yang sign? Remove the inside of the teardrop shapes and the insides of the circles. Add some handles and you have a cookie dough form. We can press the Yin Yang sign into the cookie dough and make Yin Yang cookies. The purpose of this AVI is to connect the Yin Yang sign to the human body and to martial arts. With the cookies, we take the cookie cutter and press it into the cookie dough. Why can't we take the cookie form and press it into a human body? Here is a human model. If we take the cookie cutter, we can press it into the body anywhere and make yin-yang shaped pieces of flesh, just like cookies. Now, let's take a fresh look at the human body. We notice when looking at the body that there are 2 eyes. The eyes could be viewed as 2 holes in the skull. Look at the yin-yang cookie form. There are 2 holes in the Yin Yang symbol. What if we size the Yin Yang cookie dough form to the right size, then place the holes over the eyes? That is interesting. The holes in the Yin Yang sign align with the pupil of the eyes. The head is vaguely round in shape like the Yin Yang sign. One half of the Yin Yang curve aligns with the lower part of one eye, while the other half of the Yin Yang curve aligns with the upper part of the opposite eye. The same alignment takes place even if we switch the yin part of the symbol with the yang part of the symbol. Is that a coincidence? Let's talk about the second clue I provided to this particular secret of the Yin Yang sign. The second clue that was provided was the idea of removing a car steering wheel. This job requires a certain tool that is specially constructed to remove car steering wheels. This is what it looks like. When using the tool, it is placed over the steering wheel. Bolts are inserted into the slots in the tool and screwed into holes in the steering wheel. The tool is turned so that it becomes longer. As it lengthens, it pulls the steering wheel with it. The bolts from the steering wheel puller tool connects this clue to the Yin Yang secret and the cookie dough idea discussed above. The bolts go into the slot in the tool and align the tool correctly. We just finished talking about alignment of the yin-yang holes with the eyes. Why not use the bolts as guides for the holes in the yin-yang sign? The bolts go into the eyes just like they go into the holes in the steering wheel. The bolts in the eyes of the human body align the yin-yang cookie dough form, just as a steering wheel puller tool is aligned on the bolts in the steering wheel. The bolts are used for alignment purposes. They don't have to be inserted into a hole. They must be situated so that we can slide the yin-yang sign over them. I have a purpose in mind, so I choose to place a bolt on the nipple of each chest of the body. Now let's resize the Yin Yang symbol and slide it over the bolts. Do you see anything interesting? Look at the curve in the Yin Yang sign. The upper side of the Yin Yang sign curves along the upper part of one half of the chest. The lower side of the Yin Yang sign curves along the lower part of the other chest. Is that a coincidence? The next part, which is the particular secret of Yin Yang I have been referring to all along, is not obvious. After having written this explanation, I can see I asked too much without providing enough clues. Let's take the bolts and enlarge them. Then we will insert them into the body from above, one at each side of the body. We bring in the Yin Yang sign that has been resized already and align it over the bolts. We bring in another model. This model has the circle removed from the Yin Yang sign, so only the central curve cuts the body. It is also stretched out height-wise, so it is taller than the body. We watch both the full Yin Yang cookie cutter and the central curve only move down both models, simulating pressing down to make a cookie. The results are intriguing. If we make a cookie out of a person, aligning the Yin Yang sign on the bolts located vertically along the side of the body is separated into front and rear halves. Each half has one arm and one leg. My skills at EVI creation are not very developed. The person is not cut into exact duplicate mirror image halves. My hope is that you will overlook my lack of computer skills and focus on the idea presented.